Alright, we're here. I made it despite all odds. Let's lock in. I think we already have a private game because I'm kind of late. I don't think it's started yet. Shouldn't have started yet, but let me spectate. Like sprint home to be able to do this. Alright, got 8 people in here. I can switch straight back, no pausing. We have 3x3 on orange, and I'm going to say, look, I'll tell you guys this, okay? I'm going to say Team Blue. I'll say it one time. Team Blue is City Boys 6-7. And then I'm never saying that team's name again. Look at the skins on 3x3. What skins do we got going on? This is kind of a psycho looking. I don't know who's who though. I have it in the. Should I pull up my own stream and see the description, see who's who? That's probably a good idea. Three by three is. Oh, the game's starting. I'll look at it in the game. I'll look in the cages because they're orange. That's blue. I don't know. I don't see anything super crazy about the skins, Lance. You tell me though. No, they literally don't though. Their skins are not matching, unless it's like a theme and I don't got it. Okay, kind of expected both at mid right away, right? There's ignoring each other, which just makes sense, right? Because you're not going to really want to fight each other there. There's no use to that. You know, the fists aren't going to do any damage. Second member of 3x3 up in here, and now they're just going to get immediately blown up. No obby up here yet, but that should be soon because Foofsy over here, I believe, has obby. Are they all parrots? Are you like all parrot bird variations? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. I had like 3 people say my name in chat at the beginning. When I turned stream on, I actually had to run back out to my car, so I didn't see those, but I do appreciate you guys. Good little fight here. It's a 3v2, so you probably see 3x3 in this. What a nice little brawl at mid. I like it. When you see something like this, you do want to know where the other members of blue are. There's one at base with gear and the other one grabbing gear. So that's what I mean, right? They're either getting gear or they're rushing the other team, probably. So the 2 that were in that brawl back up. Hope my mic's on. Someone tell me if I'm silent. I guess if I was silent, no one would tell me that I was silent. So for the time being, in terms of generators, you have mid control in the favor of 3x3, but I don't see that lasting for very long because of the gear difference. Like the reason they have control right now is because QStifler over here was able to go back and get gear. Now, was that a wood? If that's a wood sword, that's not going to be very useful. Like iron armor in a wood sword is barely better than leather in a wood sword, just because you're going to do so little damage doesn't matter. This is, I don't think this name means anything. CLB. Running into the base with the gear they have. I don't know. You think they have a pickaxe? I would doubt it. But it's possible they're going for an early game. You know, they got some gold from mid. They're going for an early game obby block in here. In leather, obby's the only way you're getting the egg here, right? You're not going to kill anyone. Probably gets knocked off here, and they do. See what's going on back at mid. This is an iron sword, not a wood one. So I missaw before. Maybe I saw like the handle of the pickaxe or something. They are getting backed up though, which is impressive based on the gear difference here. I hate this armor bug, but it's not my texture pack. I saw it happening to 1 too. This is Dqniel over here versus Green Phoenix. Dqniel, there's a pretty even fight, but it's 2v1, gonna back up now. Check our bases. Nothing going on at blue, nothing going on at orange. Pretty smooth start to the game so far. I like it. Something I'm curious about actually is gens, right? Because we saw on the side of blue they had some gens going before. So I would imagine both teams are going to have gens started. We're going to start to slowly see some chainmail and iron fighting at mid as opposed to leather, but it's been even enough that I don't think it's going to be any situation where one team's super advantageous. Star here does have the better sword. CLB just backs up to their teammate though because they got 2 people backing them behind them. Star, I imagine, is Might just want to be annoying, might want to force some people back to the base by pretending they're going to go for the egg over there. We have a member on the side of 3x3 in iron now. This is Foof. We go in for this weird, like, asymmetrical ladder thing. I don't know what the goal is here, but I don't mind it. Ladders are weird to me because they break when you break the block, so I don't know what the purpose of them is. I guess you have to break the block to block in, and that makes that harder. Nice little kill there on CLB. Would have been the same thing if they didn't run, because again, gear difference. Full on mid control for blue right now. I just want to make sure they're all four, right? So all four of 3x3 are at their own base. This isn't going to be like the most terrible thing in the world because they have gens at their own. It's not like very, very beginning of the game mid control, but you still, it's still a lot better to be in the middle over there. And it means you're going to have to push past anyone, you're not going to be able to do any sneaky egg break type behavior. Speaking of sneaky egg break, this is CLB going all the way around. I guess you could do a sneaky egg break if no one sees you, but obviously people are seeing you. CLB is going to build up a little bit. Like they probably would have been able if they went super quick to get to the egg before the other team, but unless you have a 40 diamond pickaxe and a lot of luck, I still don't think there's a way. Because you wouldn't have gotten there early enough to block in with Obby for sure. Still tower battle here, but I'm not sure what the point of it is. Again, maybe like we've seen that before in some other league games. If you have really good armor, if your Foof actually pulls up as well, that makes it a little more interesting. Well, that's what the point of it is the whole team is here. We got all four members of 3x3 at the base now. So CLB might be just waiting for an opportunity now because the team's going to be distracted now. You have Logic over here as a diamond sword, and then the rest of them have iron armor. So this is a legit little raid going on now. I want to see they're all are also all four members of blue here, so no one's sneaking. Everyone in the game is at this island. Star gets a kill. That's big because Logic had the diamond sword, so that's going to dampen this rush pretty significantly. CLB drops down. Foof is the one with the obby. They get it, so they're going to be able to get the egg because CLB is defending them. That's a good push there. That's smart. The risk is that people can get away now. Like, that is actually a member of 3x3 that got away, so that's not a big deal. CLB is going to escape. No, there was a death. I'm not sure when a member of blue died. Like, I don't see any final kills, but I only see 3 people on blue. I hope no one left or anything or got disconnected. Stifler's going back over to mid. I was going to say they did well to not have anyone die, but however that happened, it's a 3v4 as it stands, which is totally winnable because they all have gear. Right, Dqniel has gear, Stifler over there has gear. And our third member, if they don't have gear, they're obviously getting it quick because they have a little head hitter bridge in between the 2 gens. Level 4 gold, level 3 diamond, so that'll be quick. It's, with only 3 people versus 4, it's comparable enough to actually being in mid. So it means that to get any kills, like to finish off this game, it's not a given by any means. Like 3x3 is going to have to pull a pretty serious rush again, or just sit and wait, right? Because that's the other thing you can do is Deathmatch doesn't take so long that you can just kind of chill and try to get in Deathmatch. I'm surprised Stifler is pulled up here alone and is fighting in mid. I'm not sure why, like what the reasoning of that is. Teammates are showing up as well. If they want to hold mid, I can kind of understand. It puts you in a lot more danger. But if you're not content with chilling until it's deathmatch and their team has totems, you might need to do a play like this. If I get distracted, my cat is walking in front of me. It's not my fault. So you can see the members of 3x3 now are all gathering down below. Now their gear is not very good. Like I don't see any diamond swords. Logic's in leather. So there's, it would be a 2-on-3 right now. Now I would be worried if I was blue about where your teammate is. Logic actually did go with diamond sword and leather armor again. It's good early game. I don't think diamond sword leather armor is as strong when the other team is in iron. Because you end up kind of just dying quicker. 2v1 on Dqniel though. Daniel's probably gonna back up. This is what I was saying earlier, when I feel like when you are, when you're down in player count, I feel like going over and trying to take mid. Like the bridge is your best friend there, right? Because no matter how many people there are, it's gonna be hard to rush you with all 4 of them. Especially when you have enough diamonds that you can probably get a punch bow if you wanted to. But now the Scythe over here is even worse. Scythe is getting 3v1. Now this is interesting because that means all 4 people are on 2 members of blue. The third one over here is all by themselves right now, Star. Star is probably going to join in this fight. There's a world where you argue Star just goes to the base and gets the egg when they're not being fought. And that might be what they're trying to do. This is Dqniel actually just going to the egg. You're probably just going to run. Nope. Story goes back. I was going to say you might just, hop a Bedrock bridge there. On Java, you always have to turn right there, but... confidence. Star builds up here. So Star is starting to do what I thought, where they're going to try to go towards the base. I like that play because you can see, even though, like, they didn't actually do anything, where they just forced 2 members back. And now you actually have numbers at mid, as long as your teammates can survive till Star gets back. I want to see what Daniel's... Dqniel does have a diamond sword. Qstifler only has an iron. 2v1 on Phoenix there, and they get a kill. So, I did pass a little bit of judgment. Like, I don't agree with showing up to mid here, I don't think. I think it's very, very risky for a league game. But they force everyone back. They get resources. They, hurt a little bit. I'm sure the armor's worn down, but no damage is what it is. The perk shop is also in mid, which is something else. I honestly haven't played a significant amount of EggWars with perks in the game, even though it's been a while since they were introduced now. So I don't know like what the common meta perks are, if that's the reason they're here. Star is getting jumped on by Foof. This is now 2 of them. Logic and Foof are here. Daniel's fighting CLB. I'm not sure where the third is. I'm not good at remembering names. Star gets a nice little combo there all the way off the edge. Not quite. They do get him. That was a really good combo there. That actually means a lot for this fight. Now I need to see where the other blues are. So nice regular 2v2 over here now. Again, it's just dangerous though, right? Because it's 2v2, but, death doesn't matter nearly as much for 3x3 here. So if blue wants to stay in the game, they need to get both these kills cleanly. And it is worth keeping in mind, obviously, Star's not dead, and Star didn't decide to come back, so Star's hanging out at mid somewhere. They are winning this fight so far, though. If they get one of them off the edge, they do get Logic off the edge. CLB is going to back up. They're not going to want to take that 2v1. So, Team Blue, City Boys, are fighting really, really well. Like, this is very, very solid. They've played really well. You just lose the egg at the beginning. And then I think that someone DC'd. Like, I don't think they had a final death. I think someone left or disconnected before the egg got broken. Which is kind of a shame. Now, this is dangerous now because Stars hung out at mid this whole time, and they're, weren't just coming back. These are both regator. Well, CLB came back from the base, and then Green Phoenix came back from their own base. Once reminding people that drag and double clicking are not allowed. I'm not sure if there was someone. If they were drag clicking, I don't think I saw them. Boy, am I glad I'm not a mod anymore, so I don't have to argue with people about what is drag clicking. If you guys were ever on the forums back in the day, I had a pretty strong opinion on the drag and double clicking stuff, on those, whether to ban or not ban. But I won't put my opinions on it here, Now, Star, I think, honestly, even in a 2v1, if you're able to avoid just getting thrown in a combo, you kind of win this fight. Because these are 2 stone swords. Like, they're not doing anything to you. Now it's different, because Foof is pulled up with the diamond. And a solid combo there. You need to get Foof off of you and then run out this, right? Get a couple hits, then block up. Or Foof runs back up, so that works too. I think it makes sense to block there so that they can't just run straight after you. The team is still just farming up, at least Dqniel is. That means I'm missing one. I have Star, I have Dqniel, I need to find where the third one is. Oh! There's the third one. That's solid work. And they get away. I wish I was 8 people and I could know where everyone is, but I'm not. This matters a lot now. Star needs to get out of here. Or, I was going to go after Phoenix. The no helmet's big, but they heard the sound, had an extra one, or they got like a armor HUD. You know how it goes. Sniper's gonna come back from breaking the egg. And now all of a sudden there's 3 members of blue. This is like, they could bring this around with 3 people. That'd be huge. All of a sudden, logic is, I mean, this is smart, right? You see this, you see this a lot on this map in particular, on Royalty, because if you have less gear and you run onto these side islands, it's really, really easy to get a knockoff. Even on Java, people do that, but obviously on Bedrock, the knockback is a lot better. No, better is subjective, but you can knock people a lot further. Now we're just chilling, so this is all 4 members. I'd like to see Logic finally get some armor. They've been playing leather armor the whole game. And Prove vibes. See what's going on with blue. I imagine they're just farming up at mid, and that's what's happening. Someone tell me, I got some like League players in chat here. Someone talk to me. Tell me what the what's the meta here when you're both egg broke and both gearing up? Like what do you buy? Is it leaps? You stock up on leaps? I know that's a big thing. We do have a couple members 3x3 jumping in. I think that's strength that Foof popped, so that'll be big. Scythe gets crit like 4 times on strength. They need to get out. Like they need to have teammates support. They could just blow up. Dqniel falls down. CLB gonna chase down. No, they're gonna go for the 2v1 on Scythe. They were able to get gaps off, so they get out of that initial problem. Another thing is also depending on diamond amounts, right? There's a better sword. They're not guaranteed that they only have the regular diamond sword. Dqniel goes down up top. 4v2 now, and Scythe needs to run. Like this, you know, with the strength bots and stuff, this is to the point where you need to run. Like you need to get on a bridge and try to knock someone off. Otherwise, there's no shot because you know you're not damage killing 3 people at once who are all chasing you. Star comes in. Star's loaded. Star's got full diamond, probably a stack sword. But I don't know. I mean, even then, it's a 4v2. They get logic like immediately. Holy cow! Bring it back a little bit. 2v3 now. Phoenix is stuck. Does get out. I wasn't expecting logic to go down so fast. You have gaps in, you have gaps in iron armor. I think they were in iron finally. CLB's helmet breaks. They're probably 1 or 2 hits now too. To get away, at least for the time being, they're gonna go for again this, play around in this little skinny area, try to knock the full diamond off the edge. They just build straight up. It's important here. Like they don't have a replacement iron. That leather helmet's probably already damaged and it's probably going to break real quick. Because you don't buy replacement leather. The only way you have replacement leather is if you took it off when you bought the iron. Star and Stifler back at mid. So they trade kills, right? I saw 4v2. I was thinking it's going to be over. But it's not. Worth noting as well, we have probably 2 or 3 minutes till deathmatch now. No totems, no eggs. That would just mean everyone at mid. That would be relevant right now for 3x3 because they're at their base. And it's noteworthy. There's no, there's no assistance. There's no you get let to mid. You have to make it to mid yourself. That's kind of the penalty for being at your base, chilling when deathmatch starts. I think at some point it would be pretty great to have like an actual moving border, stuff like that, instead of the host just telling you deathmatch. But the effect of it's pretty similar. Phoenix is stranded right now. Don't get hit off. That's not good. I mean, that's a really solid play from City Boys. I'll say their name for that play. But I don't know how you let that happen. As 3x3, I don't know how you have the player advantage and you let one of your people alone get double teamed at an island. I don't think that should be possible. Very dynamic game though. Things are hard to keep track of, especially if you're like not in VCs. But I hope everyone playing in a league game is at least talking to each other. Noodles, I don't miss arguing with people about drag clicking. As fun as it was sometimes. Star gets a pot, 2 minutes till deathmatch. They're going to go in just for a 2v1 right now because their teammate is not here. CLB sees the full diamond guy hitting a potion and just runs straight away, but their teammate's still there. Foof takes a couple hits. Again, this is probably a sharp 5 diamond sword. Nice leap feather, just denies the exit there. Foof is able to get up, I don't know, this is like a little chandelier, and get a gap off, which is big. I'm not 100% sure if that was an E gap or a regular one, or like got up a regular gap. CLB helps Foof get away, and that has to get away themselves. This is what I would expect to see bows coming out. You know, I know people have their reservations against bow spamming, but at a certain point you have to be able to prevent people from just running away on bridges from you, right? If that was a high pixel fireball, then maybe the fireball would do that job, but CubeCraft fireballs, I like them better because they don't send you 5,000 miles. But that's what happens. I wish I could see, like, I wish it told me in chat what perk they got, but I guess that's part of the thing, is it would be damaging. Have a minute till deathmatch. Another important thing with deathmatch is there are no shops. Everything, including the perk shop, just gets vaporized once deathmatch starts. Star's gonna go back to base. Stifler's already there. So this is interesting because this means probably both teams are gonna be at their own base when deathmatch starts, which means they'll both have a clean path. Unless 3x3 wants to pull up to mid first, and that is what at least one of them is doing. If you get to mid first, you have the opportunity to try to, you know, be annoying and bow people off before they get back to mid. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case because there's still 20 seconds till deathmatch. Stifler is already at mid. Now this is dangerous in itself because your big boss geared up teammate's still at mid. Stifler's all alone right now, but it should be enough time. You know, you're not going to die in the 15 seconds it'll take Star to get over here if they get 2v1. Deathmatch has started now, so everyone goes to mid, which isn't an issue because everyone is already at mid. Now you do have the issue where 3x3 is chilling on top of mid, and if this lasted too long, then they would be told to come down. Like I've seen on Royalty, even they make everything off limits except the center here. Like you can't even be on the ground down here. It depends on the host. But the general idea is that you want both teams to be in a place where they can fight and not run away. It's kind of the point of deathmatch. Like I said again, if we could eventually have a moving border, that would be cool, but it takes time. I wouldn't call this camping yet, you know. And they do drop. See, Star breaks down. Foof and CLB are just kind of chilling. Now, it has to be your best guess that Stifler and Star do have the gear advantage. I would be kind of shocked if that was not the case. Fireball gets Foof off. That's big. That was a very smart fireball. They are able to just build straight back up, though. So no harm, no foul. Stifler gets built up with a wall behind them. Now, Star, this looks like a little kind of distraction. I was going to say a little distraction technique, get Star back up to the side, but they both end up jumping down. Now here's an actual fight. There's not much to comment on here because they're all just crit spamming in a one block area. But now CLB, you don't want to crit spam fight Star, right? If you get built in there, you're gonna die. And they do try to back up. Stifler vs Foof is a little more interesting because this fight's a little closer in terms of gear. No deaths yet, nothing crazy. CLB goes back up this little top weird ring of mid. This is the reason why people like Beach so much, is because you can't do anything like that on Beach. A lot of knockback on that fireball. Stifler gets knocked down again. Foof and Star are both fighting, so CLB's up there going to try to knock Star off if they follow. They actually drop down all the way. Get a nice little combo. Star has to leap feather. I thought that might be a death there. They are both down now, though. And Foof is down below, so you need, I mean, I'm assuming CLB will have a leap feather too if needed. I think they just actually pulled it out. You can see they didn't use it, but they do have one there. Foof is blocked in. Gets out of it without too much issue, but again, you do have to consider armor durability is an important thing. A lot of knockback on CLB, has to use a leap feather. Any leap feather expended is big as well. Foof is running out the other way. CLB getting crit out a little bit. Almost off the edge. This is very dangerous. Again, if you have a leap feather, you might be able to live, but they don't, or they do, but they use it too late. I think that you need a leap feather to get out rather than backing up. Now it's a 2v1. Now it's going to be a little bit of a miracle play for Foof to be able to close this out here. And we see the same thing, which is Foof is really begging them to come fight on this little strip, try to get someone knocked off. Qstifler, I think, is trying to flex somehow and like build a little letter, trying to like send a message. Foof gets a little armor replacement while they can. See, the armor, it seems like on Star is at least slowly taking damage. Qstifler gets past his strength pot. Little stalemate here. It's hard. Like, Qstifler and Star can really do what they want because what's Foof gonna do, right? As long as they're in mid, you're never winning. Pretty much the only way you win is with a knockoff. Now, I hope whatever we're writing is appropriate because it would be sad if we wrote something inappropriate and then both got kicked, right? I don't see it happening. Oh, they're just writing their name, City, right? I'm sure there's going to be some talk afterward about the toxicity level of doing this, but I won't comment on anything. Stay unbiased, right? That's my job. Three by three is, you know, camping, quote unquote, in this scenario because it's the only thing they can do. Like, one might tell Foof at some point that this little outer ring's off limits and to go in, you know, a little imaginary border. The public wants to see a fight. That we do. But again, if Foof runs in, unless they get some crazy whip around off the edge and the other team forgets they have leap feathers, there's just no world. And then, you know, with leap feathers, I would say that blue should just be a little more aggressive here. Like, I know they both have multiple feathers. You're not really afraid of getting, you know, knockback 10 slime balled off the edge. Foof gets a couple hits, builds back up. Something we see in EggWars, it's kind of unique, right? Which is the gear advantage versus where you want to play on the map, right? People with gear want to stay towards the middle. People without gear want to stay towards the edge. So you get these issues where no one, like, anyone pushing, it would be, again, like, it would be a bad play to ever push it. And you almost wonder if there's some item you could make, right? That's usually like a game balancing thing, where you'd add something that encourages the opposite of that. Foof takes a hit, but luckily had the head hit. Like, they had like the last frame of a head hitter there, otherwise it would have been bad for them. You see they're just trying their very best to take no knockback with the head hitters. That's what I'm saying, as we, you know, we saw the same thing in a round that Juan was doing before. I wouldn't say either team is camping here, or like, you know, playing annoyingly on purpose or anything like that. I think it's in both of their best interests to do what they're doing. We see a fight here now. Foof gets a helmet broken. They have to run. I was gonna, you know, you might have a leap to get away, but they're gonna be low health now too, so you need to be able to block off, get a gap. Nice little hit there. You see they take a feather from Qstifler, but they have to trade one on their own. They are very lucky that Qstifler fell while they were getting crit out with no helmet. Might have to use another feather here if they have one to survive. Nice little one block clutch there, would have fallen. Little things, right? That's a good fight, both teams, right? Pretty even from Foof. It's a leap feather for a leap feather. I actually, like, someone could say in chat if you know, I don't know what the cost is for leap feathers. So I don't know how many these people probably have. Foof gets hit in the back, leggings break, in the void, and that's it. Alright, that was absolutely the best game I've seen in this round of, or this league, I guess, of EggWars, which I'm very glad for. Now, a couple things to say. Your Team Blue, City Boys, they got their egg broken first, and they had a player leave independent of the egg breaking. So they were on a 4x3 pretty early in the game, or 4 versus 3. And they were able to come back. They were able to bring it back. Qstifler built up, got the egg, and got back to mid, which let them, even though, you know, they had a teammate here and there getting 2v1, they never lost anyone. The only time they lost someone, they also got a trade, ended up with the 2v3, and then they brought it home from there. So that was really solid, right? Most of these games, I can tell you, after the first game, the team that won the first game is going to destroy and win the second game too, right? That is absolutely not the case. 3x3, played pretty incredible. City Boys have to say their name, tragically, also played pretty incredible. So I'm excited for a second game here. I hope it's on beach because I love beach and it's such a good competitive map. It is. Okay. Second map is beach. So we're going to have a lot less campiness in mid, especially if we get into a deathmatch scenario. Beach is very, very smooth. You have to watch out for these early egg breaks that didn't happen last game. That's a big one. That is true, Lance. See, no matter the winner, I get to watch like an actual game. And that's pretty sick. So I appreciate your team doing that. Alright, we probably have another private game code set up. Let me pause. I'm sure someone in this stream would snipe a private game if I leaked it. Alright, and let me also go over to text and 1-0. Best of 3. So if our Team Blue, if City Boys win this one as well, then they will be on. They will have won the round. Otherwise, see a game 3. I want to see a game 3, so I'm going to do a little bit of subtle rooting for 3x3 this game. But at the very least, I get to see a nice competitive match on beach. I'm going to try my best. Now, this tournament's going to go on during my finals, so I have no promises to you guys, but I'm going to try my best to be around for some of these later round games, because these are really fun when actual interesting stuff happens, and it's not a speed run. Alright, I can't show you guys yet, because someone lost a member. We have 7 out of 8 in this lobby right now. I did, Noodles. It's up there, right? I think I forgot last time. Is that why you're reminding me? But it should be updated. Oh, I guess you can't see because I'm paused, but I pinky promise it's updated. Someone said good commentating. I appreciate you. Try my very best. We have 8 out of 8 in here now. I want to make sure before I show stream and open the code up to the public view that we are actually ready here. That all the right people have joined, but once that's the case, I will unpause. And yeah, it looks like there is an issue because 4 people just left. So some team was a little messed up in terms of what team they were on or something. Well, in private games now you can swap your team pretty easy, so I don't know. We could hang out for a little bit. It is a little delayed. It shouldn't be that delayed. Someone said, are you mod? So I actually started playing on Java. Like I was part of the pretty big Java community as part of the pandemic in like 2020, 2021. So I was all part of that, and I was on the mod team, mostly doing like recruitment stuff and kind of internal things rather than actual moderating. But I did that for a while. Right now I'm not anymore. So this is like the only CubeCraft related thing I do is streaming basically because I think it's fun. But originally, yes. Like if you asked me to play, I'd be way better at Java than Bedrock. Noodles, you can't call someone a non because they don't know like the rank status of someone who used to be a moderator on a Minecraft server, okay? Like let's be serious here. Okay, I'm gonna unpause. Back over to gameplay. Again, we are on beach round 2. We're gonna see some kits. We're gonna see obby and diamonds on both teams within 15 seconds of this game starting. You can see beach. Obviously, it's a little whiplash coming from royalty to beach because the only even somewhat interesting thing about mid is the little boulders on the sides here, the hills. One member of 3x3 is AFK. Foof is AFK, which is... Oh, that's why they're AFK, because nobody voted. Okay, well, we'll try again. Round 3, everybody. Another thing, another like, private game feature eventually, auto voting. to automatically choose the right thing, that would be nice. But again, CubeCraft League, we put it on for you guys. No one really makes any money from doing this, so dev time is limited. Gonna hang out for a second until one gets a second private game going. You know, the funny thing is now I guarantee you there's gonna be like 9 votes for overpowered. Alright, new private game. We already have all 8 in here. Very quick. Alright, let's just pray we get some votes. Overpowered mode. Juan's being very, very clear about the voting requirements here. Now we'll see what I'm talking about, right? Now actually we don't, so Team Blue doesn't do any kits to mid, which means you're going to be able to get every gen off the bat. I don't know about that. Like, it won't take that long to get gear and get to mid, but it'll take long enough that these two are both going to have, you know, what the level 2 diamond gen, they're both going to have 12 diamonds each. And stacks of gold from the level 4 gens. Like, the gear difference that you get off the bat is pretty enormous. The trade-off is you will be able to cover mid a little better, right? They'll be able to come get the leftover gens, but it's not even really that because now it's a 2v2 at mid. 2 members are still at their own base because 3x3 were able to get Obby on their own base, right? 3x3 was able to get Obby just with the stuff they got from mid, but you had to have someone stay back to get Obby on the side of blue. Logic gets a good few hits, probably gets Dqniel pretty low, but then they have to reset because who is this? Scythe. I think this is the person, either they're new sub-in or they're the person who accidentally left last game. Little brawl going on here. Green Phoenix gets comboed a little bit. See, that's the one difference. CLB dies somewhere. The one difference from being a totally flat map is you're able to do some escaping over these hills here. Logic almost gets taken out, gets a nice little switch, and ends up getting the kill themselves, which is impressive. Bebessitto goes down as well. Solid kills. Pretty clean across the board. Still 2v1 on Scythe. Scythe does have an iron sword, so they'll do a pretty good amount of damage to the leather, but they try to just grab a little bit and jump back. Who is this? Bebessitto over there has full iron, so there are going to be some reinforcements, but again, the gear advantage still, like, resources-wise, is definitely with 3x3. I'm not sure where it's all gone, because no one actually has gear. They might have just launched up their generator. Yeah, they got a level 3 generator, that's what it is. It is a trade-off, though. If you do the gen right at the beginning of the game, you have this issue, which is now you have this chainmail diamond sword monster who's going to run through your entire team. Phoenix has to run away, get up that bridge over there. Logic again goes for the diamond sword leather combination. Foof has some gear now. I doubt a diamond sword. I don't think they had enough diamonds that they'd be able to get that, and they don't. But an iron sword, still very usable. Going for the low gear person is smart. 3 out of 4 are still only in leather right now, but the one that's really pushing Foof is Bebessitto, who, I mean, it's pretty even, but I would say that they probably have better gear. I don't know what the math is on like damage per hit with full iron versus chainmail and diamond, but I would expect Bebessitto's gear to be a little better. This is Daniel, who I think is just running away rather than trying to go for an egg. You see they go back, so it is what it is. All the way back to the base. Now you are, you do have to keep in mind that you're building a bridge to yourself, right? This bridge basically connects all the way up to your base immediately. We did have an orange, I didn't see this. There was an orange push up to light blue base, but obviously no fruit there unless they're hiding. In which case I won't reveal them. So you'll be in a kind of a sticky spot here up on the bridge, but Bebessitto runs away. I could be butchering that name, I hope I'm not, but I try my best. Nice little combo from Scythe. Obviously Minecraft, when you're on the low ground, it makes that a lot easier. Bebessitto finally runs back. There's a lot of gear with this person though, so they're either going to be able to gear up a teammate or switch over to iron. And even then, gear up a teammate still. Foof looks like they're going to want to push, but you're pushing into all 4 members right now. You could have like a crazy leap feather play, but you'd have to leap feather, break a block, then block your full self in before anyone gets you. I don't think it would happen. Stifler just ignores, so Foof's going to keep running forward. They've kind of weakened their own defenses, right? Foof gets blocked in. Could be another egg here. This side is not blocked in. They can block that and get hits. Doesn't matter though. Obviously your head hitting fully blocked in, the hit's not going to stop you from breaking. Foof probably dies here because you're getting crit spam, but yeah, I don't know, like, Foof is sitting here threatening. Doesn't even have to use a leap feather because 2 members just leave. But on the other side, Stifler actually builds all the way over. I should have followed. Is Stifler going to be able to get out of here? Because I'm assuming they're just in the egg right now. Yeah. That's another thing. There are so many people here. I don't know how Stifler manages to jump down and go all the way blocked in. I didn't see what happened on that one, though. This is a big kill, though, right? Like, there's going to try to be some support. Daniel's going to support. Foof has nothing. That's a free kill. Oh, no. You need to get Bebessitto off the edge here. I think if you don't, it's going to be rough. Green Phoenix helmet gets broken. They got 1 or 2 more hits till they're done. Logic goes down. Daniel goes down. Daniel on the other team goes down, but then full orange goes down. All right. That game was way quicker. We saw Obby, but that's it. I would have hoped for a round 3, but that was a pretty impressive game. I was questioning Stifler for leaving and letting his egg get broken, but I suppose if you swing all the way over to the other side, get the egg, don't die, and win the game, then I guess you beat me. That's why I'm not playing in CubeCraft League. Super impressive either way. I think matchups like this, in a way, are a little unfortunate because both of these teams 100% would have gone real far. Like, I could see this being a quarterfinal or a semifinal type matchup, right? Not that I know the talent level of teams that I haven't spectated, so there might be some super crazy teams that I'm not aware of. But that does happen, right? I think, again, it would be cool if there were some sort of qualifier bracketing stage before the actual tournament, but that is so much time and scheduling that nobody has time for. Alright, let me update here. I'll talk a little bit about our bracket so we can see kind of what's going on. And then I'm going to sign off. So, in terms of our table, if it'll load. Uh-oh. I can't see the bracket if the bracket website doesn't load. Alright. That's going to be another really good matchup too. So round 2 is this blue team that won, City Boys, playing against Gustambos. And I'm fairly certain, someone can correct me, but I'm pretty darn sure that Gustambos are a very, very strong team in their own right. So that'll be a good game. Outside of that, we have a couple more games to go on. Lucky Ones and Spartans. Again, I think they played and it just hasn't been updated, but I could be wrong. Parallax Unit Unks need to play. Chino Hills Team OP need to play. And then LNH and Nottingham Miedo. After those, we'll be on to round 2. Highlights from round 2. There's City Boys against Gustambos is going to be a fun one. EGT versus LARP is going to be a really fun one. Those are the 2 I know. BKDR is another good team. They're playing Void Raiders. We don't really know Void Raiders because their first round match was very, very easy, like over in 30 seconds both times. But that could be a good game. So we'll see in the next couple weeks. Keep an eye out for how scheduling looks for those games. And then that's where I think I leave it. Really well played from both teams. I'm glad I was able to get over here and we were able to have this game happen in this very North American time zone. Appreciate everyone coming out. They have Take the L in Minecraft? What is that? That makes me sad. I have the emote in Fortnite though. I'm an OG. Alright. Have a good night, you guys. I'll catch you.